Ever had a woman you're interested in completely ignore you? You text her, wait for a reply, but all you receive is silence. You see her online, she's posting, yet she's not responding to you. It feels awful, doesn't it? You start second-guessing everything, wondering if you did something wrong, if maybe you came off as too eager. You might even start replaying every conversation in your mind. Let me tell you this. Stop. Her ignoring you isn't about you, it's about her. And guess what? We're going to turn this situation into something that works in your favor. In this video, we're going to explore the Stoic approach to regaining your power. By the end, you'll know exactly how to handle it when she ignores you, and you'll come out of it stronger than ever. Here's the hard truth. Women test you. They test you by ignoring you to see how you'll respond when they go silent. This isn't an accident. If you react emotionally, they win. But if you stay composed, confident, and unshaken, you win. Today, I'm going to show you how to stay in control when a woman ignores you. Not through mind games, but by embodying the most self-controlled, unbreakable version of yourself. Think of this as the ultimate guide to handling rejection like a true Stoic leader. Let's get into it. Number 1, why she's ignoring you and why it doesn't matter. Let's clarify one thing right away. When a woman decides to ignore you, it often feels like a direct attack on your confidence, on who you are as a person. You start questioning every action, replaying every message, wondering what you did wrong. But here's the truth. It's usually not about you at all. In today's dating world, there are layers of mind games, hidden intentions, and subtle power dynamics constantly at play. People, especially in dating, are often seeking validation and control over each other's emotions. Maybe she's ignoring you to gauge your interest level, or maybe she wants to see how much you'll react to her silence. Maybe she's genuinely busy or simply not as into you as you hoped. But here's the game changer. None of these reasons actually matter. What truly matters is how you choose to respond to her silence. If you sit around, checking your phone every few minutes, wondering why she hasn't replied, you're handing her all the power. You're giving her control over your mood, your day, and your self-worth. Precisely what you shouldn't be doing. This is where Stoicism becomes your secret weapon. Stoic philosophy teaches us one critical lesson. We can't control what others do, but we can always control how we react. When she ignores you, don't fall into the trap of overthinking or doubting yourself. Instead, realize that her actions are beyond your control and focus on the one thing you have complete power over, your response. Number 2, control what you can. So, what should you do when a woman ignores you? First, recognize this. In Stoicism, there's a clear distinction between what we can control and what we can't. You can't control whether or not she responds, but you can control how you respond to her silence. Don't chase her. Instead, do nothing. That's right, nothing. This isn't about ignoring her out of spite. It's about showing that her lack of response doesn't shake you. By doing nothing, you reclaim your power, showing that her actions don't influence your mood, your behavior, or your confidence. When she goes silent, it might feel as though you've lost control. But this is actually where your Stoic strength begins. You control your emotional response, which is the only thing that truly matters. Many men in this situation feel desperate and double text, or worse, send an angry message asking why she hasn't replied. This is the opposite of what Stoicism teaches us. Stoicism is about maintaining your composure and dignity, showing that you don't need her validation. When you're unaffected by her behavior, she'll start to wonder why. Imagine you've been messaging back and forth with her, and suddenly she ghosts you. You're tempted to send another text, to follow up, to ask what's going on. Don't let her see you affected. If she wants to ignore you, fine. You have your own life to live. When you don't respond to her silence with more neediness, you stand out as a man in control of his emotions. Consider a time when you were ghosted after a great conversation or date, and then suddenly, nothing. Most guys would panic, wondering what they did wrong and sending another text to win her back. But what if instead, you did nothing? What if instead of chasing her, you focused on yourself, went to the gym, worked on your goals, and ignored her silence? This would not only drive her curiosity, but also build your confidence. By doing nothing, you regain all the power. And if she doesn't reach out again, so what? You've already moved on and improved yourself in the process. Number 3. Shift the focus back to you. Here's your first actionable step and one of the most important things you can do. Instead of obsessing over her silence, redirect every ounce of that attention and energy back to yourself. Her ignoring you isn't a reason to spiral. It's a chance, a golden opportunity, to make improvements in your own life that truly matter. This is the moment to invest in yourself, to strengthen your mind, body, and goals. So, what does this look like in practice? Get serious about your fitness. Hit the gym. Make progress with your health. Refocus on those personal or professional goals you may have put on the back burner. This could be mastering a new skill, launching a project you're passionate about, or diving into hobbies that genuinely bring you joy. Spend time with people who lift you up, who appreciate you for who you are. As you put more energy into your growth, you'll start to realize her silence is trivial in the larger scheme of things. When you make yourself your priority, you naturally become more attractive, not just to her, but to anyone who comes into your life. Remember, women don't gravitate toward men who chase them out of desperation. They're drawn to men with a sense of mission, purpose, and focus. Think of a time when you were engrossed in pursuing your goals, whether hitting the gym regularly, seeing real progress, building a business, or improving at a new skill. When you're that focused, waiting for replies isn't even on your radar because you're busy with something bigger. That's the energy you need to bring to every relationship and interaction. When you prioritize yourself, your goals, and your happiness, others notice. And when they do, they're naturally drawn to you, including her. She'll start to wonder why you're no longer reacting to her silence, why you seem even more attractive. And all this happens because you made yourself your focus. Number 4, use reverse psychology. You've probably heard about reverse psychology in dating, and while it's often misapplied, it can be incredibly effective when used right. When she ignores you, don't chase her. Instead, ignore her back. But here's the twist. Ignore her in a way that shows you're unaffected, not bitter. This isn't about games, it's about showing strength. When you stop seeking her approval, when you show her that her silence doesn't affect you, she'll start to wonder why. This is key. By not giving her the attention she expects, you shift the entire dynamic back into your favor. Imagine you've texted her a few times and she hasn't responded. You're tempted to send another text, or worse, to ask why she's ignoring you. Don't. Instead of double texting or showing emotion, just let it go. Move on with your day. Post pictures of yourself out with friends, at the gym, working on your goals, without reaching out to her again. Soon, she'll start to wonder, why isn't he chasing me? Did I lose him? Is he talking to someone else? Has he moved on? And when she reaches out to you, and she likely will, respond calmly and with minimal emotional investment. Don't mention her silence, and don't ask why she ignored you. Just act as if nothing happened. By doing this, you completely change the power dynamic without lifting a finger. You didn't fall into her trap, and that makes you appear calm, confident, and emotionally in control. Number 5, stay calm and unbothered. One of the biggest mistakes men make when a woman ignores them is losing their composure. They start feeling anxious, frustrated, or even angry, and this is exactly what you want to avoid. When you lose your cool, you hand over all your power. She can sense your emotional instability, which only gives her control. The Stoic response here is straightforward. Stay calm, stay composed, and don't let anything shake you. This isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about genuinely not letting her actions dictate your emotions. When you master this level of emotional control, you'll find not only do you feel better, but you're also far more attractive to others. People, especially women, are drawn to those who exude a calm, unshaken confidence, who aren't easily disturbed by life's smaller disruptions. In the long run, calmness projects power, and power is magnetic. The next time she ignores you, resist the urge to react impulsively or emotionally. Take a deep breath, step back, and remember, her actions do not determine your worth or value. You are the one who decides how you feel, not her. Rather than overthinking or replaying every interaction, choose an activity that reinforces your calm. Go for a run to release any frustration, blast music that makes you feel unstoppable, or dive into a project that needs your focus. By shifting your focus away from her and back onto yourself, you regain control. You show her that you're not at the mercy of her silence, and more importantly, you reinforce to yourself that you're in charge of your emotional well-being. That kind of control is magnetic, and when she realizes her silence hasn't rattled you, she'll start questioning why she doesn't have the impact on you that she expected. Number 6. Detach from the outcome. Regaining your power. This is the ultimate Stoic move. Detach from the outcome. Whether she replies or not, whether she's interested or not, your peace remains steady. This is true power. When you stop caring about the outcome, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster that often comes with dating. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care about her. It means you value your own well-being more than her attention. This mindset shift is critical if you want to take back control in any relationship. When you detach, you stop relying on her responses to feel good about yourself. Imagine a time when you were overly attached to an outcome, be it a job interview, a date, or a text exchange. The more you worried about the outcome, the more anxious you became, the more you second-guessed every little detail. Now, imagine letting go of all that noise. Picture yourself being okay with any outcome, confident that no matter what happens, you'll be fine. This is the heart of Stoic detachment. Understanding that whatever happens is meant to, and your peace doesn't hinge on someone else's actions or opinions. When you detach from whether she replies, you free yourself. You're no longer caught up in a cycle of seeking or waiting for her approval. This sense of freedom and self-assuredness is incredibly attractive. Detachment shows confidence, and confidence is magnetic. It's about showing the world and yourself that your happiness comes from within, not from any external source. Number 7. The power of letting go. Ultimately, mastering the art of letting go is where true power lies. When you accept that some things are beyond your control, like her decision to ignore you, you release yourself from the emotional chains that bind so many men in similar situations. Letting go doesn't mean you're giving up or that you don't care. It means you're choosing peace and self-respect over anxiety and neediness. It's easy to think that if you just try harder, text her more, or show her how much you care, she'll come around. But the reality is that constantly seeking her attention only pushes her further away. When you let go, you're essentially saying, I respect myself enough not to chase anyone who doesn't value my presence. This shift in mindset brings a calm, self-assured energy that is not only attractive, but liberating. It's what will allow you to move on if things don't work out, with your dignity and self-respect intact. In the long run, you'll see that letting go opens you up to better possibilities. When you're not obsessing over someone who doesn't reciprocate your energy, you're free to meet someone who will. And most importantly, by letting go, you take back control of your own happiness. You're no longer at the mercy of her responses or lack thereof. Your peace comes from within, not from someone else's attention. The truth is, relationships and dating are complex, but some principles remain constant. By staying focused on your own life, maintaining your self-worth, and refusing to chase someone who ignores you, you protect your energy and assert your value. If she realizes what she's missing, great. If not, you've already won by avoiding a situation where you're undervalued. This approach isn't about playing games. It's about embodying the confidence and respect that make you a stronger, more attractive person. To recap, when a woman ignores you, shift your focus back to yourself. Invest in your personal growth, and you'll naturally become more attractive. Use reverse psychology. Don't chase her. Let her come to you. Show strength by being unaffected. Stay calm and unbothered. Emotional stability and control are far more attractive than desperation. Detach from the outcome. Your happiness doesn't depend on her response, and that freedom is powerful. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.